Hello, folks. It's Mitch Boyle. It's Triple Double Sports Cards. This time, yeah, we're going to do the three sweet, not three-peat, but three sweet like Triple Double Sports Cards at the end. And we've got Giannis, Lebron, and Ja Morant. A really cool preview of what I hope were some pretty good buys. But for the vintage part, we're talking 80-81 Topps Tri-Panel Bird Magic Irving, the rookie card. I got 31 of the cards back from BVG and PSA. So I think regarding the compare and contrast here, it should be kind of fun. So let's get started right out of the chute with a 4. These are the two lowest grades I got out of the 31 cards for PSA, and then a 6 for BVG. And take a look at what we got here. I think you look at the 4, you're going to see some centering issues, especially top to bottom. You're going to see the print marks that are relative to the cards that aren't as good quality, pretty common amongst those types. And then the same thing with the BVG, the 6, although the print marks are not nearly as prominent. The problem with the BVG is the centering would be OC in a PSA world. I'm fairly confident of that. So the question is, which card would you buy first? I don't know. The print marks are so heavy on the one on the left that I may go with the BVG. It is graded higher, as we know as well. So just something to think about. Love your opinion on that. Please subscribe. Throw in your comments. A like wouldn't hurt. Comments are always the most important, especially for me as I just begin this new business venture. I've only been doing this for, I guess, about 10 months now. All right, let's take a look at a couple of 8s here. Here's a BVG and a PSA. The BVG on the left, I think the centering is quite a bit better, but that little tab print mark on the bottom where they used it for alignment is more prominent on the BVG versus the PSA. It's only the centering on the PSA that's a problem, but the corners on all 8 of them, 4 corners on each card, are really nice. So it's a bit of a toss-up in my opinion, but maybe you have a different opinion about why one is better or worse than the other. All right, so let's take a look at these next two. And again, we're going to go with BVG, and we're going to go with PSA. And I hope that this one might show a fair amount of difference between the two in this particular example. All right, let's look at this. Move this just a bit. Let's look at the PSA on the left to begin with. The centering is more skewed to the left. It does have some print marks. There's no print mark on the bottom. And that upper right-hand corner has some surface issue. So actually to get an 8 on this card was pretty miraculous. However, the BVG, 4 really sharp corners, much better coloration than the one on the left. Even the centering inside of the tri-panels with each individual card is much better with the BVG, in my opinion. And again, no print mark on the lower right-hand corner. When we look at another PSA 8 and an 8.5, I want you to remember this card because it's a little surprising to me, given that, quote, BVG is a little bit easier on their grades. I'm beginning to wonder about that. And these are all very recently graded in a PSA world, which is inside of a year. That BVG stands out as a card that, as people like to say, it's undergraded. Actually, that one is undergraded. I think we're going to find out, but I could be wrong, and love your opinion. All right, so here we have a couple of PSAs. One is the 8, one is the 8.5. Now this 8 is much better than the last one we just saw, with no surface print marks, if you will. Small little right-hand corner alignment mark. And centering is really good on this one. And I would say the only thing that might be different about the 8.5 is that the centering, I was going to say it's better, but it's really not. But these are two really, really nice cards. But I would argue that BVG we saw just a minute ago is as good and maybe better. All right, last two. We got a couple of 9s. Let's see what the difference is between these two, or maybe there aren't any. I love to look at these cards. And by the way, the 8s in PSA are going anywhere from what, 4,000 to 6,000, maybe 7,000, depending on the quality of the 8. But here's a couple of 9s, and they're going anywhere from mid to high 20s to as much as mid 30s, depending on the quality of the 9. So let's look at the one on the left. And the centering inside the card is fantastic. There's no problem with the corners. So this all makes sense. However, the panels by themselves aren't centered very well. I'm not sure if that's why it was downgraded or not. But the one on the right, the coloration is about the same. The centering is about the same. The little print mark on the right-hand corner is existing, where the one on the left is not, so that's worth something. But the centering within each tri-panel is much better with the one on the right. So this is kind of purchase preferred, if you will, meaning what are you into? What matters to you? The other thing I wanted to get to before we go 3-suiting is pop report for the 80-81 Topps tri-panel Bird Magic versus Jordan's number 57, 1986 Clear Rookie card. The overall population for Jordan's in PSA is 19,597 for Topps Bird Magic, 9,385. So about 2-to-1 for Jordan being in terms of population. When you get to the 8s, though, it's beginning to look a little different. 3 times more Jordan PSA 8s than Bird Magic. 7,956, almost 8,000 versus 2,772. When you get to the 9s, it's 4.5 times, almost 5 times more for Jordan at 2,787 9s in a PSA versus 643 Bird Magics in a 9. And now 10s. 317 Michael Jordan PSA 10s. How many Bird Magics? Yeah, you're not seeing a lot for sale, are you? That's because there are only 24. So I guess the question, or what I'd like to know, is what does that mean about the current value of these cards? I want to say that the Bird Magic again is in the, for 9 is in the, let's just call it 30,000 high, or excuse me, 30,000 or so. And I think the Jordan is a little bit more than that. Is that the way it should be? Should one be a little bit higher than that? I'm just curious about your opinion. All right, let's get to 3-suite. I've got 3 cards here that I think are pretty sweet deals, but I'd love your opinion about it. Maybe I'm off base here. This is a number to 10, a 2018 Panini Prism from Lebron. It's got a swatch inserted. And then the one on the right is a Giannis. It's a 2017 called Totally Certified. Again, number to 10. I think that's 2 to 10, and LeBron is 7 to 10. So keep that in mind. The LeBron I paid, oh gosh, $290 something for, and the Giannis I think it was $285. The third card in the 3-suite for today is, John Moran. I think I mentioned that a little bit earlier. This particular pristine 10 from Beckett Grading Services, the 10s are in the centering, the corners, and the edges, and the surface got a 9.5. This is a real popular card right now, considering what Ja's success was in the playoffs. He had some record-setting numbers relative to other contemporaries that were as young or had played their first playoff series. So we're going to jump from my light box, and we're going to go to eBay, and we're going to look at the recent sales on these. So let's start with that LeBron. Again, that was PSA 9, and it was number 10, and it was a 2018 Panini with a swatch. So recent sales included one that was actually a BGS 9. I couldn't find any PSA 9s in LeBron 2018 number to 10. This is what I came up with. It was as close as I could find. So you got this one at $1,600. You've got this one numbered to 10. It's a fireworks, and it's a 9 as well in BGS. And then you got a BGS 9.5 at $1,500. So feel pretty good about that sensational swatches from a LeBron standpoint. But maybe that card isn't worth as much as I think because of something I don't know. But it was numbered to 10. All right. Let's jump straight to the Ja Morant. So I bought that for $495. The lower one here is the one that I bought back on May 12th. Another one was purchased, a BGS 10 on May 15th, and it was purchased at $961. It's a select versus mine being a Donruss, so that might have something to do with the fact that mine was quite a bit less. Although, and I think this is important, the 9.5 on mine again was surface, which I think is the thing that's the least detectable to the naked eye. Their 9.5 was for corners. I think that's, to me, a bigger deal, but of course I'm biased because I own the one that's a 10 on everything but the surface. All right, let's go ahead and now compare, just because there were so few BGS pristines, to a PSA 10 and other John Morant's that sold recently, numbered to 49. And you've got a PSA 10 at $780. You've got one that's a little over 600. It was shipped from South Korea. It's a hoops. You got another hoops here that was best offered below $1,650. Let's say that went for $1,000, maybe even less. And then the last one here, again, a PSA 10, numbered to 49, John Morant, rookie card, $885. So I don't know, what do you say? $900 on the low side, and we bought ours for $495. So I'm happy about that. All right, let me see if I can jump in here, and let me see if it'll let me grab that. There we go. There's the Giannis. So that is actually the card that I purchased on April the 30th for $228. Totally certified, number 10, gem mint, PSA graded. Go up a couple, can't do the auto. Here's one, number 10, that's the Donruss All-Stars, and it sold for $660. Here's one that sold for $1,245, and then May 22nd, here's another one, number 10, 910, Giannis, 2017. So some things to consider, but I think I did okay there. Happy to report that I did recently buy a Trae Young auto card, and I thought I got a good deal on it, and I probably paid about $200 too much. So it ain't all a bowl of cherries, as I've said before, but I think we did okay. Well, let me know. I'd love your opinions. Your comments are real critical. So again, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Subscribe, like. It's Mitch Foyle. Thank you again. On behalf of Triple Double Sports.
Really, I'm fine that I've been stacked. Time that I kick back with wine and the click track. I've been bad, could have been much better. Think about the past and the Instagram pressure. Cocking back a ring, should a photo for engagement. Likes me in love and the love's validation. Talk a big game, cause my game is the greatest. Twisting my tongue into lies when I'm jaded. Had a little voice telling me to fill a void. And my mama wants best for her little boy. Rolling eyes, sipping on my vodka LaCroix. With the double line, couple lines, numbing the noise. Crawling into my spider web. The spider sense. Counting me to kinda quit. When I'm with the lioness. Lying in the lion's den. Prying with the fingertips. But trust me, you don't want any of this. Smoke alone on the trail I play. Upside step goes when they ricochet from the